Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for the future leaders from all over the world. It's Maia, the Chevening Global Mentorship Program leader this year and current scholar from Georgia. And I'm happy to be here and doing our volunteering stuff. Most of you, I know already most of you, but just one more time, want to congratulations to being a shortlisted candidate for the Chevening Scholarship. This is an incredible achievement to your hard work and dedication. So as a shortlisted candidate, you are one step closer. I hope that you will realize this and your dream and achievement will be true, just come true if you practice and be yourself. So we are here to share for you our tips and experience on the interview stage. So today's session, we have guest from the last year. Here is a dear who organized last year Global Mentorship Program. He is from Kurdistan, Iraq. Dear, please, can you say something for us?
Hi, Maya. Hi, team. Hi, everyone. As Maya said, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, because this is a global mentorship. Well, actually, when I join the activities like that, I feel power, actually, because it's about a global power, everyone, everywhere, about everything. So this means a lot for me and for the team. Regarding global mentorship of Chevening, I was feeling that there's a big gap of mentoring and something like organized of mentorship for the people around the world. People were getting the shortest stage, but there was no more instructions. Some people were making some videos on YouTube and stuff, but we couldn't find something organized. So last year, me and some friends, we decided to manage a mentorship like that, and hopefully some friends repeated the same procedure that we did it last year. I think much better, Maya and her friends. So I think this is an incredible responsibility that you have taken, and I think all to get this scholarship. But as you know, this is a competitive scholarship. They can't offer this master for everyone, but prove yourself, show yourself, and prove to them who you are. Of course, you will get it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Maya. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much for the brilliant idea. I think me as a current candidate, a scholar who are here and who was benefit from the last year global mentorship program. I think this is the main idea to continue the same volunteering task, guys, for you, for new generation. So remember that you are not alone. You are part of the community of the scholars committed to making difference in the world. And you have to support of the Chevening community. So I think our volunteering work is a part of this belief. So let's move on and starting our today's session officially. So I hope so that you are able to see the slide. Okay, great. So guys, are you able to see the slides? You see our speakers from today. Natalia, go ahead and introduce yourself, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Maya, for all the things that you're doing, for having us here, for helping all the current students. Okay, so as you know, my name is Natalia.
Yes, Natalia, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I think somebody unmuted me or something like that. Okay. So I'm so happy to be here and kind of nervous for being the first person that is going to share some tips with you. And I hope they are really helpful. Can you go to the next slide, please?
Yes, just a moment. Heather, also, can you introduce yourself? And Natalia, you will just start.
Sure, thank you. Yeah, Maia, thank you so much for organizing us all, not only this workshop, but there's a series of workshops coming along in the future, and for getting us all ready to pass on some of our experiences. Welcome everybody for joining today. We hope that what we share with you is going to be useful and helpful. And yes, we're here for your questions afterwards and to share our experiences, and looking forward to getting to know you.
So thank you so much. And as you know, I'm Maia from Georgia, and I'm so happy to help you guys. And let's move on, Natalia. I'll just change the slide for you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the first tip that I really want to share, it is to double check the time and the date and everything. And this comes from my personal experience, because like I almost got in trouble because of this. Sometimes your mind play tricks. So like, yeah, just avoid a lot of stress and trouble by double check your time. And, you know, probably this is something that no many people say it, but it is important. And the second thing that I want to share, and you will hear it a lot, maybe in the next sessions as well, is to speak naturally and to remember that you are on a conversation. Like you need to speed up, you need to slow down your speech. You absolutely need to show emotions, because when you're showing your emotions, when you're smiling, you're actually able to also show your passions, like show that you're really passionate about what you want to study, about what you've been doing. And when you like try to memorize everything, when you try to sound like a robot, you know, you are not going to tell your story right. You're probably not going to look like a very interesting scholars for all the panelists that are going to be there. And when I started to think about this tip, I also think it's important to say that you have to forget about being perfect. I mean, I know that we all are like extremely prepared. I know that sometimes we tend to like try to make everything perfect, you know, like just plan and like say everything, do not forget everything. But at the end, that's not very realistic, because when we are actually on the interview, we face different kind of emotions. We face like maybe questions that we did not plan, maybe different kind of things. So like when you try to be perfect, you will just panic. You will not be able to be resilient, and you will not be able to actually come up with different kind of answers. Sometimes we tend to think about like our English grammar. Maybe you know, we all know that we are not like English native speakers. So sometimes like if we like keep thinking about, oh, that grammar error, or like, oh, I'm not saying this correctly, that's just going to panic, and we are not going to be able to move to like the rest of the questions. And like in this tip, I also want to say that sometimes, let's say we didn't do that great, like we didn't say the things that we were planned to say in one question. Just don't stress about that. Like we all know that probably we're not going to do perfect in every question. Like don't think too much about that, and just go ahead to the next question and try to do your best in that question, and you will be totally fine. You know, the panelists, they're humans. They know that we are nervous. They know that we are also humans. So please don't try to like sound like a robot. Don't try to memorize. Don't try to be perfect. Just go ahead, try to smile, try to enjoy, you know. And that's something that you really need to think about. Also rehearse with other scholars. And that really helped me a lot when I was preparing for my interview. It will help you to talk to them. Right now that you have time, try to join some WhatsApp groups, try to contact other applicants and try to practice with them. You know, it's not the first time that it's that somebody tells you that it is better to do it as a group than by yourself. When you practice with them, they will share some tips. Probably they already received some tips from other scholars and things like that. So it's going to be much easier for you. And they also will help you to see your weakness, to like, they will tell you how to improve that. And you will be also able to help other people on your way, you know, and that's very important. I mean, I didn't have too much time, like, to practice with so many scholars, but if you have the chance to do it at least 2 or 3 times, that's going to help you a lot. And also my last tip is to research about your embassy. And from my personal experience, I think this actually boosts my interview, because when you research about them, when you know exactly what you're doing, that's going to give you a lot of confidence, and that's going to help you to come up with very interesting answers, because I'm pretty sure that they are going to question, okay, so you are this scholar, but what are you going to do for us? How are you going to contribute to our embassy? And when you research about them, you can actually detect their gaps, you can actually detect their weakness, and you can actually say something very interesting about that, you know? And I want to share my example. In my case, in Ecuador, I was able to see that there were many scholars from a specific region of Ecuador. So I was able to see that. And in my interview, I told them, yeah, I've seen that there are many people from this specific city or region, but what about the rest? And if you choose me, I will be able to help you to get to like the whole country, you know. And that's something that they didn't even notice, but when I told them, they were like, yeah, you're right, and we want to like have people from all over Ecuador. So if you are there to help us to do that, that will be awesome. And that's just one example. Like, if you keep searching about other stuff, you can find many ways to like come up with these kind of answers. Like, maybe they are focused on on certain areas or in certain approaches, and you can say, oh, I can help you to give you a different perspective on this and things like that. Like, try to create new kind of events, you know. It's just up to you and how you approach this, but you really need to let them know that you are going to do something for them. So these are the tips that really help me, and I hope that they are also helpful for you guys. And just if you have any question, just go ahead.
Yes, I think, Natalia, you are doing very, very good, and you share very amazing tips for them. We can move on, and we can have the question time for all of, like, after we done all of us. Okay. So I think, yeah, it's my time. Well, guys, I will talk about firstly, like, planning tips, because right now we are on this stage. It's like before the interview, you need to read your essay as many times as you can. So last year, when the scholars shared for me like the same tips, I was like, I'm more than sure that's what I wrote. But when I got back and I read my essay again, I realized that yes, I found the key that I wanted to talk about. So go ahead and read your essay as much as you can, because you need to feel comfortable on this topic. You know, like you done this writing stuff 6 months ago, and there is a lot of key points that you already forgot about yourself. I know it's your story, but it's like real. So guys, go back and read the essay. So marketing yourself is next step. During the preparation time, when you will have a mock-up interview with your friend, with your mates, or most of you already have some small groups. So with them, just trying to marketing yourself. What I mean, like you are the shortlisted candidate. It's mean that on this stage, most of the people are very qualified. So you need to sell yourself for the panel and show them yourself, but as a brand, let's say, and try to say the stories, which is like very amazing for you. I know all of you guys done a lot of great stories, but choose from the essay the part that you are proud of. So regarding this way that I'm talking about right now is funny because a lot of people ask me like, how can I sell myself? But you will be future leader, so you have to plan to organize your answer, how it show you yourself like best way. Also, I want to share for you, there is two way how can you choose which example are good. So personally, I use the one I share right now. So like I choose one example from the essay, and I add one example from this 6 months period, because me as a leader, I showed them that I'm keep going. I still developed myself, my personality. So I showed them like, yeah, you already read my essay, you know, this example, and I share for you as well. But I also shared and add new example from my 6 months period. But there is a lot of people, friend of mine, who are current Chevener, but they just follow the essay. They share only the example they had in them essay, and it's not wrong. So guys, just want to emphasize that we Cheveners, current Chevener, we share our story and experience, but we don't say that this is like 100% true. You need to find your perfect way, how you show yourself best. So maybe you will find new approaches and you will share for next year for new generation. So let's move on. Use the STAR method approaches. It's very popular approaches for the interview stage. If you don't know, guys, go ahead and research what is the STAR approaches, because it will help you to make a structure for your answer. And remember, Chevening is future leaders scholarship. They need Chevener and person who will be structured. So your answer should be organized. So the STAR approaches will help you to organize your answer, because you will talking about story, you will talking about task you had, you will talk about the achievement you had and result. So go ahead, check if you don't know what is the STAR approaches. I'm sure that help you to organize your answer. So next stage is research. I'm going to talking about Read Chevening website. It's very useful. They are talking about us, the people who are doing Chevening scholarship right now. They posting about us, what we are doing, which kind of event we have. And this information will help you to present it yourself. Why UK? Why this particular Chevening scholarship is important for you? All of them know that UK university is best and living in the UK is good. You have to show them the very natural, also personal point why you want to study in here. Maybe it will be very helpful for you if you are going and check your university website, because they also talking about students, how the student life in the United Kingdom, because Chevening scholarship supporting you, of course, the academical reason, but for Chevening, it's also important to live here during the year, like full of enjoying and met the Cheveners and like get to know more about UK culture. So go ahead and check this because it will help you to answer fully why UK. And the last one should be confident. I will just repeat like Natalie said, because it's very important. Maybe we copy each other's idea, but it's very useful tips, guys, because if you don't feel confident what you are saying, they are not going to give you the chance, because firstly you need to find yourself, and remember all of you are unique, just you need to show them how unique you are. So the first step for this is the confidence. And as I repeat a lot of time, if you're doing mock-up interview with your group mates, it will help you a lot to be confident, to feel like fish in the water. So go ahead and you can be next. Peter, please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Maia and Natalia. Yeah, firstly, I agree with everything that you've said so far. And so really, I'm just hoping to build onto that. I think my first point is it really ties into what Maia was saying about research. And this is thinking about like sitting with yourself, taking some time and thinking about why you want Chevening particularly. You know, a lot of us, I think we just apply for lots of different scholarships because you need funding to study and you're just trying to get funding. But now you're in this position where you're further along with Chevening. So think about if you could have any scholarship in the world, why is it Chevening the one you want? What are you going to get out of this experience that other scholarships might not give you? Why the UK, not somewhere else like America or the rest of Europe or whatever? What is it about this scholarship that you are hoping to get? Chevening is like a particular brand. And this ties into Natalia's point about thinking about your embassy. So thinking about how you fit this brand of Chevening and what they try to achieve, and not only how you fit this and how what you do is in line with that, but also how they will benefit from having you. They're going to emphasize a lot about how you must return to your home country. And so thinking about how you're going to strengthen these connections between the UK and your home country, or Chevening and your embassy at home. So thinking about that, thinking about how it benefits your country, and then also this links to your future plans that you would have spoken about in your essay, but that might have even changed, and that's okay. I think the other points, so my next point is about examples. And, you know, Maia spoke about the STAR method. And I think it's really important as well to think what's changed since you wrote these essays, which was almost a year ago. And it's very easy to say things like, yes, I'm good at networking, or yes, I'm a leader, because you know those are Chevening values or pillars. But everybody's going to say that. So think about what you've done or what this means to you. Maybe you view networking differently, and this is how you do it. I think so. This is sort of leading into my next point as well. But you mustn't feel like you need to be a particular person, and that if you are A, B, C, they will choose you. Because if you get rejected, but you try to be someone else, it's always going to feel worse than if you were rejected, but you were yourself and you were true to yourself. So in different ways, you might fit these characteristics. In different ways, you might be this person or fit this brand. And yeah, just be true to who you are and your values. And not that anyone in this call is going to get rejected. I'm so excited for all of you, but it will always be better to be rejected for who you are than for trying to be something else. So it comes back to everything like Maia and Natalia have said, you know, confidence, trust yourself. That comes from being who you are. You already deserve this just because you've been selected for an interview. You know, just by being in the interview, I think you're like in the top 10% of applicants already. And I think what helps is to maybe remember that this means that you deserve it, and they'd probably give it to everybody if they could, but there's like resource constraints. And so now it's just about like really showing who you are beyond this piece of paper and all the great things you've already said about yourself, all the great things that you've done. You know, reading your letter and your CV to remind yourself, like, wow, actually, you know, I have done these things. I think we can get caught up in, you know, life, and then you forget that you actually, wow, I deserve this. And so reading that not only reminds you why you want this, but also that you are deserving, and trusting in that. And then the last thing is sort of after the interview. So kind of like planning for the next steps. You will know that you can be conditionally selected and then finally selected. And a lot of people lose their conditional acceptance because they haven't gotten into a university. And if you get selected for Chevening, the last thing that you would want to happen is to lose that place just because you didn't get your university in time. So in the interview at the end, they will ask you, do you want to change your universities? And you are allowed to say yes. This is the last time you can change your universities. The only thing you can change later on is which is your first, second, or third choice. So maybe your first choice is like the really prestigious top institution, top one for your course, whatever, and that's your dream one. But my advice, obviously, like this is a personal choice, but my advice is to make sure that you have at least sort of like a backup option. So an option that you're almost certain you'll get into, so that even if you don't get into your first choice, you can still get your master's, you can still have this incredible experience because you've secured a place. There are a lot of universities in the UK that don't charge fees to apply. Maybe you don't want to lose out on your place at Oxford because you had to pay the, you know, £200 to apply and you just couldn't do that. So have a choice that's maybe free, so that that's not about like a barrier or an obstacle. And think also about like why you want those three choices. Is it just prestige, or is it like what's going to be best for you, or think about like what it is that you're going to get out of this. And then at least have applied for one university now. You know, maybe it is a lot of effort to write all these essays. Applying for these things is so much work, and so maybe, you know, you want to wait until you have a bit more news or a bit more certain or something, but just don't leave it to the last minute, because especially the last year, like some universities had just so many applications, they hadn't even finished processing them when we got our letters. So that doesn't mean people were even rejected or accepted by the university, but the university hadn't even just like looked at their applications yet. So just don't leave that to the last minute, and make sure that, and if it's language tests, whatever, make sure that you're ready to be accepted by Chevening when they send that conditional letter. Yeah, so that's me. Thank you again, everybody, for listening, Maia and Natalia, and we're going to move on to questions now.
Yes, guys, so our time is off, so go ahead and you can ask us questions as much as you have. We are ready for it. Raise your hands. Yeah, I see a couple of people. Okay, so Umam, I hope that I'm pronounced your name correctly. Please go ahead.
Hi, Maya, and hello, everyone, and thank you so much for all of your efforts. Yes, you pronounced my name right. My name is Zumam. Well, I've been studying and preparing really hard, and I know that I'm really prepared about the interviews, and I've been doing mock-up interviews with my friends at the university that I work there. But here, my concern is that university choice. I applied for my 3 chosen universities, but unfortunately, I didn't get any admission offer from there, which leads me to my question. If I want to change my universities, and if they ask me, why did you choose these 3 universities, do I have to tell them that I picked other 3 universities, or should I just explain these 3 universities, and later on when they ask me to change, I will tell them, yeah, I want to change and I have these other 3 universities? Do I make myself clear?
Yeah, Heather, do you want to answer? Go ahead.
Sure. I think it's up to you whether you want to be honest about why you changed your 3 universities, so whether you want to tell them that you didn't get in or not. I would wait until the interview and then tell them then, but I would make sure you have other three institutions now that you think are likely. So now you say your top three were like this one, and this one. Now you choose other three and then you say why, and think of reasons. Like you can say like, oh, I did a bit more research and I changed my mind, or I looked at the statistics of this and I changed, or actually this course sounded this. It needs to still be in line with what you studied, so like, or what you suggested. So if you said you want to study education and now all of a sudden the next course is like astrophysics, that's not going to make a lot of sense. So have it still in line. I don't think you have to say you didn't get accepted, but if you want to tell them that, I don't think they would hold it against you. I think it's like about being honest and your own personal choice. But just make sure you have like a reason for why you want to change that makes sense, and that could be anything. And also like just to say about sort of acceptance into these universities, it can sometimes feel weird when you get like an incredibly prestigious scholarship like Chevening, but then you don't get accepted into the university. And so many of these things, like, don't take it as a reflection of yourself. Sometimes it's just about who else applied that year, or what they're looking for, or luck, or order of applications, or all of those things. So don't take it that you don't deserve this. And that goes to everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, voila, please. And can you please just directly ask us a question?
Yes. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, go ahead.
So basically, I study in Algeria. I have studied for 5 years at my university. But the thing is that our educational system is a bit different. We don't have any bachelor degree. So basically, we study 2 preparatory years, and then we take a national contest. And then if we pass, we do our master's degree. And we don't get our diploma until we're done with the 5 years. So basically, I have studied for 4 years. I'm in my 5th year now, and I don't have any diploma. So I don't have any diploma that shows that I have a master degree or bachelor degree. I only have the contest that I won to get to the National School of Business. So I don't know if this will affect my my award, like affect my Chevening award, or even when applying to university, will they ask about my diploma, or will they only ask about me having 4 years studying for 4 years at a university? Or should I ask, sorry, I'm talking very fast so that I don't waste your time, or should I ask my university to write me a letter saying that this student has been studying here for 4 years and she's on her 5th year and she's going to graduate on June? So yeah, I hope I'm making myself clear.
Natalia, do you want to answer?
Sure. Well, I think, from my personal experience, in the 3 universities that I applied, they do ask you for like a diploma. But maybe if you're going to get it in June, what you can do is to like email them and ask, I have this, how can I apply without this? But telling them that you're going to show those papers like in June. But I'm not sure if that's going to make you like an applicant with a unconditional letter, that's what they are looking for at the end with Chevening. So that will be my concern, but that is something that you should actually ask the universities that you're applying for, because they are going to give you all the answers, and you should definitely email them and ask them for more help and what you can do, because I don't understand very well how the education systems, like in my country, it works completely different. So I'm not sure, but I will suggest you to do that, to email them, and maybe they can help you more with that.
Okay, thank you, Natalia. So I won't be having a problem with Chevening, but I'll be facing like a bit of an issue with the universities, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I just want to say thank you so much, guys. It really means the word for us. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for this initiative. Have a great day.
Yeah, do you want to add something regarding this question?
No. That's it for now. I'll send you a message or something whenever I'll have a question. Thank you so much.
I asked
Good luck for everyone.
previous Chevener. So do you want to add something?
Okay, Maya. Regarding Wala's question, I feel we have a lot of Algerian scholars, current scholars, and alumnus as well. We may ask them for a clear answer, actually, because the system of education is different from a country to another country. So we may not be aware of the fully detail of this question. But in my opinion, while you have been shortlisted, you're eligible for Chevening. The Chevening doesn't have any problems regarding this certificate, or you haven't received yet. But for the universities, of course, as Natalia mentioned, you have to email the universities, the admissions, and clarify everything for them. So yeah, we will be keep in touch, and we will share you at least one Algerian scholar, so he or she will can give you more information about this question.
Thank you so much, Dayar. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
So Maria, you're the next one for my list. Go ahead, please.
Hi guys, thank you so much for doing this in first place. My question is related with the question that Human asked. I have three universities, but I will like to add one that I didn't list in the Chevening application as my first choice. So I want to make sure that some a scholar like sometime did this and it didn't affect their applications, giving like good reasons to change the university.
I will ask. I will answer this question because I also changed university. Yeah, Dear did not recommend it for me. I had also a academic letter, but I changed it. But I had very good academical reason why I changed the university, because I had Zoom meeting before with my optional university, and I clarified that the course that I wanted to be focused about inclusive education, it was written on website that they were keep going and studying, but since I met them on Zoom, I found out that it was not true. So in this particular year, they just canceled two subjects for the inclusive education. So I found that very good academic reason, and I described for them that I want to focus about inclusive education. And yeah, it was my reason. So you can maybe find some academic reason why you want to change. Guys, when you are changed the university, you need to have very, very good answer for this, why you are going to change, because you had 3 months before that you have to found and make the research about universities. And it's, like as a leader, it's not very good sign to present it yourself. Like, I have not done good research before, and I found new university after the everything finished. Like, you need to give them very good academical answer, I think.
Okay, and just to make sure, like when they ask you about describing the courses you are looking for to study, or the universities, in that moment you came up front and tell them that you're adding another course as your first option, or it was at the last part of the interview?
Yeah, it's last part. They definitely ask you, all of the scholars, if you're okay with the choice. If not, yes, like you can say, if they skip this part, you can say for them that you want to change the university.
Great, thank you.
Here I see. Yes, you want to say something.
Yeah, actually, I remember last year many shortlisted people were asking this question: should I change a university, or how can I change a university, and what should I say when they ask me? Well, as Maya mentioned, this is an emotional interview. I think it was Natalia or Maya. When you go to the interview, many things will happen that you haven't planned for. Okay. In my case, I changed a university. I had three conditional offers from the universities. So I found out that one of the universities that their modules are not interesting for me. So I wanted to change the second one. I frankly told them that I don't like the modules. I've researched more. I've read more about the university. They have updated their website. They have updated their course and so on. So I want to change this university. So don't let them to ask you, do you want to change a university if if you have already decided to change a university. When they ask you why this course, you're gonna mention that you have these three universities and you want to make a change of your choices, and don't ask them to ask you why. Directly explain why you want to change it. Okay, so you're gonna reduce the time, and you will let them to know why you want to change a university or why you have chosen these universities and what makes you to change the universities. Uh, I think it was Humam who asked, "Can I change three universities?" You can change three universities, but personally, I'm not agree and I'm not optimistic if you change three universities. It's not logical to change three universities, even if the reasons are academic or very professional. I think you have already researched a lot and you have taken a lot of effort to choose these three universities. It's like a weakness when you change three universities at the same time. If it's a university, maybe you have been rejected or you haven't heard anything about them, or you have found out that you're not eligible for the university, or the requirements are very high, or I don't know, or there are deadlines. You can easily uh, find a reason and tell them you want to change this university. And another point, you don't have to reorder the universities. For instance, the first university is Glasgow, the second one is Edinburgh, the third one is Sterling. When you get the scholarship uh, by June, or maybe, I don't know, early July, you have the choice to decide which university you're gonna study. Okay, and this decision depends on a point that you have a conditional offer or not. If you have if you have unconditional offer from three universities, you are very okay to go any university that you want. So regarding reordering, don't change anything. Keep on the order that you have already selected on the portal. But if you want to change a university, it's very okay to change it, but please have a professional or academic reason. Even you may talk about.
Yeah, I think Dear has the internet connection problem. So next person in my list is Thea. Go ahead, please, because Wala and Humam already done. Okay. Okay, Thea, go ahead.
My second choice course is suspended since last October. If I change it, would I consider it the suspended application as the good reason, or they ask me why I didn't apply to it before October?
I don't know, guys, if you want, you can answer.
Yeah, I can answer. Yeah, you definitely can do that. And actually, I also had the same issue because like the course that I chose was canceled. So when they asked me, I said that yeah, I was not considering that option because the course was canceled, and that's totally fine. Like they understand because those kind of things happen all the time. So don't worry about it.
Thank you, Natalia.
Thank you.
Salva?
Yes, firstly, I want to say hi to all you guys, and thank you so much for your big efforts. You are doing your best for making us accepted in this scholarship. Yeah, I have some problem issues with the three courses. My first and second one, same name, but at different universities. The third choice is different name of the course. Is that okay or not? Because the creator saying that is three different universities, I mean, and the same name of the course.
Since you are on this stage, I think it's all right with you because you mentioned about your courses in your third question, why UK? So since you give them proof why you want to study in this particular course, it's okay and you're safe. I think there is not any issues regarding that topic.
Yes, yeah. And my another question that is till now I didn't apply to any college or university because I didn't accept that I be a candidate for the interview. Yeah. So is that okay to for the time for getting the
Heather,
offer,
please,
even
because you already
conditional or
talked about.
unconditional offer?
I also hadn't applied for any of the universities by the time, yeah, for until like quite late. I think that it depends on the universities. So, for example, I applied to SOAS and Sussex, and I still never heard anything from Sussex because they actually emailed while I was already in the UK to say that they just got so many applications that they didn't get a chance to go through all of them. So I think that's maybe like why you have a backup third option, maybe a smaller university, maybe a university that's not very popular, maybe a university that's not like in London or high demand, just so that they are more likely to be able to process your application. But SOAS took very quick to process my application. I think it was like 4 weeks. So as long as you have at least one conditional offer by June, and that's the one you go for, or well, when they tell you it'll be June-ish, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Next one is Haite Bella. I don't know if guys pronounce your name correctly. Sorry if I made the mistake.
Thank you for the opportunity. So my question is based on what Mr. Deer has said. So I just want to clarify. I actually did not apply for my three choices, but I applied for another less competitive university, and I secured a conditional offer. So I was thinking, like, when the question sorry, so I was questioning if I'm asked, do you want to change the course? Should I raise the fact that I secured a conditional offer in a different choice in less competitive university? Thank you.
Maia, you're on mute. I can see you talking, but you're on mute.
Sorry, you can guys answer you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I think technology is not my best side of myself. Well, go ahead, guys. You can answer them. Natalia or Heather, if you want. Feel free. Guys, did you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. I'm not very sure about you got a conditional offer from a university that you didn't mention in your essay, right?
Yes, this is right.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be afraid of like saying that you got this new conditional offer, as it was mentioned. I don't remember who said that. You should let them know when they ask you, okay, what courses have you chosen for studying in the UK? You should let them know that, yeah, you found those courses interesting, but then you also found this new university or like this new course, and you should explain them why. And then at the end, they will be aware that you are actually choosing another course. And like in my case, they also asked me if I have any conditional offer or unconditional offer, and I said yeah, I have these two unconditional offers from these two universities. So, and in that time you can let them know that you already hold an unconditional offer from that university, and that is probably going to be your first option. So don't worry about that. Even until the very end of June, I don't know, I don't remember the exact month when they send you like all the things that you have to sign when they have selected you as a Chevening scholar. Until that, they give you the chance to like have your last chance to choose the university course, obviously based on what you have said on your um, interview. So don't worry about that.
So just to say that like I don't have enough strong academic reason to switch courses. So this is my real question. It's like I just secured a conditional offer. I don't have enough reason of changing the course. So what do you suggest?
Well, then my suggestion is to keep looking for reasons, like keep reading more stuff.
It could be anything. It could, I mean, I changed my courses, and the reason I changed, I think I had Oxford as one of my first courses. And the reason I changed was really because I couldn't pay £200 for an application fee. So I didn't tell them that, but I found reasons. Okay, so now there's like 100 other universities I could choose from. Why did you choose the one that you applied to? It can be anything, like, oh, I didn't want to live in this city anymore, or I saw that there's a lot of high percentage of international students at this course, or there's a lot of local students at this course, or I looked at this lecturer and they're doing something really interesting. So it could be anything, but just find a reason. I mean, you still had a reason. There was a reason you chose the ones that you applied to that you got accepted to. So find out what that reason is.
Thank you so much.
So first one is Mokhtari Asma. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, it's Asma. Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for this session. Actually, I have 3 questions. The first one is regarding one university that I wanted to choose, but I didn't mention in my application form, just because the fees of the university are superior to the fees that are, I think, allowed by Chevening. I think it was like 26,000 pounds. I didn't choose it, but I'm thinking if I can include it, if I have time to apply before my interview, is it possible to apply to a university that has like high fees? This is my first question. My second question is for DR. I don't know if he's still in this call. He spoke about Algerian scholars. I don't know if he can like build a bridge between us, because I'm from Algeria and I have some questions to these scholars. And the third one is how to join the global mentorship program next year. I would love to be a volunteer next year. Thank you.
Okay. So first question was regarding the university fee. So if you are not MBA, you are more than safe for this issue because the Chevening only have limited fee structure, let's say, about MBA, not any other courses. So mine was also very high, as I remember, but you don't need to worry about fees because Chevening will fix it. What you need to say, like if you are not MBA, if you are MBA, you have to care about the fees. So the next question was regarding the previous Chevener from Algeria. So I know the current Chevener that I can share the contact. I will ask them. If you're in the chat or
yeah, I was
group,
asking about the current Cheveners.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll share
Thank
the
you so
contact. No worries, keep in touch with me and I will share for you the contact. And regarding the global mentorship program, once you will be Chevener, it's starting around like beginning of February. You will have like global Chevening group where you will writing like, hey guys, this year I want to be Chevening global mentorship program leader. So, and I need volunteer who will be speaker with me, and you will share all the plan we are doing this year. So this is the way how I creating this year group. So more than welcome in our group.
Thank you so much.
Akbar, please go ahead.
Yes, hi everyone. Thank you for this presentation. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we do.
Okay, great. So yeah, I had a question. So I applied to all of my 3 universities and I got rejection from one of them and I got accepted. Conditional offer. I got conditional offer from one of them and I'm still waiting for the third university. So so would you advise me to apply to fourth university to just replace the rejected one, or for example, like I don't know yet if I get accepted from the third university I'm waiting for. So like having just one uh, offer from the university, like would it affect me negatively? What do you think?
Yeah, Heather, do you want to answer?
I don't think it will affect you negatively. Someone in the chat also asked about they've been accepted to their first 2 choices, and should they apply for their third. So my 3 choices after my interview, I changed them from the form to the interview, but I applied for 2 out of the 3. And then once I'd heard back from one, I just said that this is the one I want to go for. I didn't end up applying for my third because I'd already got the acceptance from the first. So they won't count it against you. As long as you have one that you've specified, that's all that matters.
Okay, great. So I have also second question. Sorry for that. So so I saw in Natalia's presentation that something about timing. So is there like specific time limitation for the answers in an interview?
There is not like a limitation of time. However, your interview should last around less than an hour, like I will say 40 to 50 minutes, but
Yeah.
it really doesn't have a limit. Like there are students that complete their interviews in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like I've heard a lot of differences, but you can just feel free about what you're saying. Just don't go up like too long questions that it will take more than an hour. Because you know you're on a queue and there are other scholars also waiting for their interviews. Yeah.
Right.
Also, if they are rush or waiting any other scholars and they have some kind of limited time, they will stop you and say like, could you please continue the other question? We got your answer. And
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yeah, so Musavi Azar, please go ahead. Okay, so then it's Hedy. You have raised your hand. Okay,
Hello,
Musavi,
dear.
if you are here, yes, go ahead.
Do you hear me?
Yes.
First of all, I'd like to express my thankfulness for the great effort you're doing today. Well, I've got a question regarding to the interview. Is it possible to bring some papers as evidence to support my answers, or this will affect my score?
I don't get it what you mean, like kind of plan regarding your answer, or what you mean exactly?
Shall I repeat the question?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, my question is it possible to bring some papers as evidence on the interview day, or this will affect my score?
Sorry, what do you mean by some papers? Like what kind of papers?
Papers
You mean
related to the
like
projects that I already do as leadership and influence.
I think you could bring it, like they wouldn't, mark you down because you had papers. But if you mean like when they ask you a question, you now like reading your response that you've prepared, I don't think that's a good idea. But if it's a paper like, oh yes, I do this project, I can show you a picture or something like that, I think it's fine. As long as you don't want to be like rehearsed for the things. So as long as it's not something like that, but having paper like with you or like a certificate or whatever, they probably won't ask for it. But if you want to bring it, I don't think they'll hold that against you. I don't know. Maia, Natalia, do you agree?
I agree. I completely agree. Like since I have
Okay.
the online interview, I'm not experienced to like bring stuff, but I agree like in the idea you said. So I think it's Hedy. You are next.
Hello, dear all. Thank you for your effort. I really appreciate it. I am from Kurdistan as Mr. Diari, so I would like him if he could answer to my question. But since he is not here, and my question is same as Kak Busnawi, the one who just asked about paper stuff, I have research. Actually, the base of my essay is about a research on some historical sites in Kurdistan. So we have done this research into a book. Now, ever since I closed the application, the book has been published. So I have right now I have a great copy of the book with myself, which is my name is written on the book. So I think, I don't know if do you guys think it's a great idea to bring the book with myself and to show the team that what I have progressed from that point. And thank you so much if you could answer.
Yes, sure, you have to. Like it's
Okay.
very big achievement. You can emphasize and show them that as a leader you're still keep going. You developed yourself, and it will be like kind of proof for them to like, yes, what you done. Like I recommend
Okay.
it to bring with you and show them.
Thank you so much. And I have one more question. Actually, I added my three university. Two of them is about conservation in architecture. I'm an architect myself. So one of them is about sustainability, which is a completely different topic, but I still have interest in architecture, sustainable architecture. Does it affect my application? Do they like see it as a weak point? I'm a bit concerned about this. Like this is the first two university that I have applied for, both are conservation and stuff, but the other one is about sustainability. I mean, I have two different topics. Does it affect my application, or should I be really relaxed and go on?
I mean, you already apply. You already mentioned those three courses on your essay, right? So that's probably, and if you were selected to these stages, because they probably see that they all make kind of sense. So you should not worry about that because you already passed to this stage. Maybe in your interview, try to mention some kind of thing that can actually have something in common with all those three courses, because like at the end, if you're following like conservation, right, like architectural conservation, that can be also like some kind of sustainable architecture. If you're saying, oh, I am taking care of these buildings, and I'm not trying to build new stuff, and I'm not trying to have more environmental impact. Like for me, it's like that, and it also has like a fact of sustainability if you see it in that way. I don't know if I'm clear with that, or if that was your question.
Natalia, thank you so much. Yeah, you made it clear to me, and thank you so much. Now I can relate both of them and still be like continue. It will be continuous to my essays. Yeah, true. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for your guidance. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you, guys.
David, I don't know how to say, but David, you are the first one, so go ahead. Okay, the next one. Anyway, okay, David, you are here with us. Go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me, guys?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for your contribution, guys. This is very helpful. I have actually two questions. The first one is regarding my essays. When I was submitting during the time of submission, I had specified some numbers regarding the projects I am managing and the staff I am leading. But after submission of the Chevening application, the number of projects I am managing have increased, and the number of staff have also increased. So there is a change in there. How do you think I should clarify this to the panel of interviewers? And the second one is regarding the scholar biography. It asks some social media links, and I'm not that much active in the Twitter and Instagram platforms. So does it have any impact on my application and selection?
I can answer you your second question regarding the social media. To be honest, I was not also Twitter active because in my country it's not very active social media. So I creating from the very beginning that I apply for Chevening because I know that they wanted to looking at me everywhere as a future Chevener, and I made some like activation on the social media because like they will check it I'm more than sure, because also LinkedIn is very important. So, and you're posting talking about you and how loud you are in the social media, and it's also emphasize some kind of habits and behaviors about you. So you can just keep going and creating it. Not if it's not this year, maybe next year it will be useful for you. Regarding the first question, I think I will try to mute it. Yes. So regarding the first question, do you guys want to answer?
Sorry, I missed what the first question was. I was answering a question in the chat. Do you mind repeating what the first question was to the person who asked it?
Yeah, in my essays, I had specified some numbers regarding the number of projects I was managing at that time and the number of staffs I was leading. But after submission of the application, those numbers have changed now. I have additional projects which I'm managing and additional number of staffs which I'm leading also. So do I have to explain this, or does it have any impact?
I think it's fine. I mean, they're not, the purpose of the interview isn't to like catch you out, if that makes sense. They're not going to be like, oh, you said you're managing 4 projects in your letter. Are you still managing 4, or is it 3, or is it 5 now? You know, if it matters for you in the sense of like, it's a very interesting new project, they might ask, then you might want to bring that up. But they know that you wrote this letter like a long time ago and that things might have changed. They know that we're all working, and so maybe one project is finished and another project has started, those kinds of things. They're aware that like, you know, you're being interviewed 6 months after you applied. So if those numbers matter a lot for you and what you're trying to convey about your journey or your leadership or your whatever, then find a way to say it. But they're not going to ask like, is this number still the same? Is this still the same in the interview? Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
So one last question, guys. As you know, we have 7 sessions, so you're able to ask you a question for the next following session. And it was the Leila. Please go ahead. What was your question?
Hello. My question is.
Sorry, your voice is very low.
Can you hear me now? Well,
yes, it's better. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. My question is kind of same. Can I mention the new things what I have not mentioned on my essays, but they happened after submitting my essays after October, and they are really important and describe me as a leader and as a person who can have a lot of networks.
Yeah, I think you can do that. In my case, it was not like that. I mentioned the same examples that I described in my essays, but I've heard a lot of people who actually are trainers now, and they mention different kind of examples, and they did totally great. So if you think and if you consider that those experiences are very meaningful for your career and for your leadership path, it is fine to mention them.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, guys, you're being today in our session. Thank you, Natalia. Thank you, Heather, for your great job. And we will see tomorrow. I hope so that you see the slide. It's tomorrow, our second session at 3 in the UK time. So feel free to join us again and ask the question. I'm so sorry for people who has not the opportunity to ask us question. I saw that Natalia and Heather was very active to answer you back in a chat. So good evening, good night, a good day. Some of the countries are day. So we will see again.